What's up, you guys? I'm Amber.
And I'm Patty.
Welcome back to episode 3 of Chromosomes and Chaos.
With two moms, two perspectives, and one badass podcast. Before we get started, we're going to have a quick conversation about what just happened. So we batch recorded a couple episodes just to have them on hand. We can, trying to be organized, planned, prepared. And so then we were supposed to have a golf event today for our local Down Syndrome Achievement Center for Gigi's Playhouse. And it is gloomy and raining and it got canceled. So
thankfully,
went to the gym, got in a workout, went to the coffee shop, typing away, and I get a text message.
Patty, we lost all the recordings. Didn't really go like that. I think the first sentence said,
"Oh my God, I'm freaking out."
Oh my, I might have dropped an F-bomb. I am freaking out. And she goes, "We can pivot." That's why I just love you. We can pivot. So I'm running around town. So somehow I think I left the drive in my computer and then it turned it into a different file format and now everything's gone. And this is just the chaos of life. And I have a good friend to bring me back and say, it's fine. It's okay. Pivot. We'll record today because we have kind of the day off because we took it off, like she said, for the Gigi's Playhouse outing. So it ended up working out well. So now we're going to release this, tomorrow.
So bear with us.
And I was so proud of how organized we've been.
Yeah.
We started recording, I think, in early September.
Yeah.
First episodes.
The first one. We did the first 2 episodes and then we didn't for a couple weeks because we were just busy. And then we got back, and so
Here we are.
See, life is all about pivoting. You just take the information, breathe, pivot.
At least I know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. Hey, so today we're just going to talk about our diagnosis story. So, Amber, why don't you kick it off?
Yes. So, Pierce's diagnosis was a birth diagnosis, and we're super interested to hear from you guys to see how you guys got your diagnoses. And we should do a poll. Was it a prenatal or was it birth?
The misconceptions on kiddos with Down syndrome are only born to individuals over a certain age.
Yes, right. 40 and up, your chances go up a lot higher. And I don't remember what that statistic is like, but we'll have to look into that and see. But it is something higher. So it's super interesting, which leads me to our diagnosis. So when we went in for our ultrasounds and everything, Tyler and I were young. I had Pierce when we were 27, so not geriatric by any means, which is so funny nowadays. Geriatric's 30.
Advanced maternal age.
Yeah, 32. So went to all of our appointments. He was measuring great. Everything was reading out normal. And then doctors, at one point, 20 weeks, where they ask if you want to get any screenings or anything done. And
the non-invasive, the NIPT test.
Yeah, but we're why do we need to do that? We feel good. There's no markers or anything. So went to the hospital, or actually I got to tell my Costco story because it's super funny.
I've already heard that.
And so back in the day, I'm like, am I ever going to know when this baby's ready to come out? How are you going to know? Do you have really bad cramps? So I put all this pressure on myself to know when I'm going to know I'm ready to go in. So woke up one morning on a Sunday morning and my cramps, it was so bad. My contractions, I'm like, there it is. This is it. And so they were just consistent about every hour for all day. So I was researching things. How do I get them closer? What do I need to do? So it's get up and walk around. So we had to go meal prep for the week. We wanted to go to Costco anyways. So we're let's just go to Costco, get our groceries. So worst thing happens, we're still prepped and no baby comes. So go walk around Costco and they started getting closer and closer. So we're down the paper towel, toilet paper aisle. And all of a sudden I just have a contraction come on. And I go, Tyler, I need to sit somewhere where he's right there. There's toilet paper. Just go sit. Cause there was a perfect little chair for me just to sit in. So I'm just hunched over in the toilet paper, sitting on the toilet paper, hoping that this baby doesn't come out.
I wish you would have taken a picture of this.
I wish Tyler would have too. So we were just at Costco the other day with the kids and I told them the story and they were laughing. It was so funny. But, and then we went and got some food after how I thought I wanted to eat. No idea, but we went to Pita Pit. And so ate that. Then they were coming every 3 minutes. So every 3 to 4 minutes. We're let's go get the bags. Let's go down. And I wanted to make sure it's close enough because if you're to the stories where you get down to the hospital and you're not far enough along, but they're go back home and then call us when you get a little bit closer. I wasn't about to do that. So we waited till the last minute. We walk in, go to the triage room, and they said, yeah, you're dilated. You're about to have this baby. Throw up my Pita Pit while we were in there because my contractions were so bad. And then take me back to the room, got my epidural, and he was here. So obviously Tyler's in the room. It's our first kid. I remember them handing him to me, and I immediately looked at him, and I looked at Tyler, and I'm like, he has Down syndrome. And Tyler looks at me and goes, stop. And I go, he has Down syndrome. And that's the first initial thing that I thought when I looked at him. And Tyler couldn't believe it. You know how it's like just a mother's instinct of just knowing. It was the not even one thing ever crossed my mind during the pregnancy that he could have Down syndrome. I didn't really grow up with anybody that had Down syndrome. In schools, we didn't see a lot of kids with Down syndrome, right? Because they were in their own rooms or whatever. So I don't even know where this came from.
You
just knew. And so Tyler's looking at me like I'm a little crazy. You just had a baby. Let's not think these things. He still thinks I'm crazy. It's fine. So then we were just laying there with him because it was 11:50 at night. So we just kept looking at him, like noticing markers, lower ears, just the way. What are some other markers? Like on the hand,
of the nasal bone, the palmar crease.
Yep, the palm crease. So we had that.
The almond-shaped eyes.
Yep. So all these markers that were like, he has it. And then Tyler would pull up baby pictures of him, and they obviously look so much alike. And he's like, I think I look like this too. So then we're the back and forth. So then at like 7 a.m, that doctor comes in, and that's another thing is the doctor that handed him to me. I don't think she noticed anything, and to this day, I wonder if she knew something, she just didn't know how to say it, or she didn't want to say it, or if she really, because you know how they're coming in and they're out to the next room. They're in, they're out to the next room. And so she didn't ever say anything to me. So that next doctor that next morning comes in and says, Pierce is showing signs of Down syndrome because of X, Y, and Z. So we're going to take him back. They run a blood test.
Let me guess, 2 weeks?
7 days.
That boggles my mind.
Which is insane, right?
Boggles my mind.
It felt like 2 weeks. But yeah, I mean, even 7 days. Yeah, dog years. So we look at each other like 7 freaking days. Okay, whatever. So he comes back, and then we get released from the hospital, go home. And then within that 7 days, it was just a waiting period. You hope it's earlier, right? Because they always promise 7. We're hoping for 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Day 7, like it came back and it was confirmed. Actually, we went into our doctor, our pediatrician, and she was the one that confirmed it. And during that whole time sitting in the hospital, like just tears, because I think, and it's okay for people to say that they are grieving to some extent because you got something that you didn't know you were going to get or didn't ask for, right? And so I think there's a grieving process, and everyone's different with how they grieve. But for those 7 days, I didn't want anyone to come over to the house because we didn't know. But you didn't want people to look at him and be like, he looks different. Does he have Down syndrome? Or how do you even bring it up to somebody when they come over? So we really didn't have anybody come over to our house except our parents. And then close family, we let know maybe he does have Down syndrome, maybe not. And then just waited it out. And I think the ultimate time that I got over that grief, and I can't speak on my husband's either, but was when our pediatrician said he has Down syndrome and it was confirmed. And we were like, we're going to take this on. We're going to embrace this journey that we just got, and we're going to give this kid the best life possible, And so it's just weird to think about how that journey happened. And then when you have another kid, how that first journey affects the second one, which we'll get into in other episodes.
Oh, yeah.
But how they all just play on each other. But I mean, looking back, it was a perfect birth, and then the diagnosis was hard at the beginning, and then ever since then we've just taken it on and embraced everything that's come our way. So crazy I just still to this day looking at him just knew instantly.
There you go.
Because babies just look weird. All of them look weird when they're born. You're like, oh, what's this little alien?
Even looking back on our pictures, I'm like, oh yeah, you're like my baby.
Yeah.
That's great.
So yeah, that's yours, because I know yours is way different.
Oh, so ours is completely different. When Lisa and I decided to start our family, the intention was that I would carry our children. Lisa had no intention at all. And navigated IUIs, had several miscarriages, just it wasn't working out. And so one night we were out and Lisa had been drinking and was like, okay, maybe I need to do this. It's my turn. Like, she recognized that I needed a break. It wasn't working out. And so the next morning we woke up and I was like, do you remember? guess what? It's your turn. And so Lisa actually carried Addie. And so because we were older in age, advanced maternal age, we automatically had to like do a couple extra appointments and things like that. And so we graduated from Mid-Iowa Fertility, went to our first OB appointment. And the first appointment was, there's some markers, right? Could be something, could be nothing. Your advanced maternal age or geriatric. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to go ahead and refer you to the perinatal specialist. So we scheduled an appointment, went to the specialist. And at this point in time, I want to say we were about 12 weeks along, right? Because you're with, everything in the fertility world is a 2-week wait.
Right.
2 weeks. So you do the IUI, wait 2 weeks. Do blood draw, wait. Do blood draw, wait 2 weeks. Do an ultrasound, all of this.
So you're just
everything.
Yes.
2-week wait.
What a
2-week
process.
wait.
What a process.
And so we go to the perinatal specialist and have a growth and anatomy scan, which at this time, they're so little. But we're laying there and we're watching up on the screen, and it's about 25 to 30 minutes long. And we don't know gender and tried not to know gender for the entirety of the pregnancy. But got done with the ultrasound and just like watching Addie up there on the screen, wiggle around and do all of those things. Went into the consultation room. And the doctor came in not that long after, and literally the first sentence out of his mouth was, your child has a high probability for chromosomal abnormality. Do you want to terminate?
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, whew, nice to meet you.
Right.
We had just spent all this time like watching Addie up on the screen. And so it's like, pause.
Yeah.
We're just going to take this information. Like, I'm crying, Lisa's crying, what's happening?
Absolutely.
We're going to end this appointment, and we're going to go. Like, and I'm not coming back to you ever again. Ever.
And you're going to tell us who it is, right?
No. They no longer work there.
Okay.
2, I did kind of after Addie was born, I did write a letter to him.
Good.
And just about the manner in which you provide information has a profound effect on how people take that information and receive it.
100%.
And not like, hey, this could be a possibility. Why don't you connect with some families? Why don't you meet with a geneticist? If there's anything you want to do, like just surround yourself. Like your decision is your decision to make.
Give the resources.
But like,
and
take some time, process, gather information. Let's meet again and we'll have a conversation. So the next appointment that we made, I guess before we left that appointment, she did do the NIPT test, right? So of course, blood draw, 2-week wait. So we scheduled another appointment and then had a different doctor who was absolutely fantastic. We miss her. We love her. She just recently retired, but now we get to be friends with her because she wouldn't be friends with her patients. And now we get to be friends. But, and waited 2 weeks and it came back inconclusive. Did another blood draw. Waited 2 more weeks. Came back with like an 80% chance. And I'm like,
gosh, come on, either 100 or 0.
Where are we at here? Where are we at here? Yeah. And at the same time, still kind of like feeling the feelings of, is this something? And, for me, I was very much like, she could be green. She could be Alpha from Wicked. And I was like, cool, we're having a baby. Let's go. But it's easy for me to say that as the person that was not carrying. And I can, I can't speak for Lisa, but there are things that she expressed was, which a lot of people do. Did I do something wrong? It is natural for humans to want to have the cause and effect. What caused this? Did I do something? Who's to blame? And it's so hard. I'm sure you went through some of that as well too.
Yeah.
And so navigating those emotions and the fear of the unknown, but also wanting to be all of the things. And so navigating that. And I remember a friend was like, Patty, you are just positive Patty, right? Like I'm a glass half full, rose-colored glasses, pivot. Let's take it and go. Like everything's figure outable. 100%. And she was like, maybe Lisa just needs you to sit in the negativity just for a minute. Like not for a long time, but just for a minute. Like just sit. And so we did a little bit of that. Ended up having an amniocentesis, confirmed Down syndrome. After we did that, the first thing that we did was actually a mom's group at Gigi's Playhouse while Lisa was still pregnant. And I'll never forget that we were meeting with, a bunch of moms were there, which we probably need to do again.
We should.
And one of the moms there, I remember asking her, like, if there's something you could go back and change or do differently, what would it be? And she had said that she wished she would have celebrated more. She was so consumed with the do's, the don'ts, the they'll never, all of the things that she didn't celebrate the birth of her child. And I think that sealed the deal for me. I'm just like, hey, we're going to be moms.
Right.
Right.
And this is going to.
The fear of the unknown can overshadow the really amazing thing that is about and the journey you're about to be on. Right. And so from that moment, we just really wanted to try and educate ourselves, get as much information as knowledge as possible. We announced kind of via social media, and we had told our close friends, but we had announced on World Down Syndrome Day back in 2017, and just said, hey, we got 321 is what it was, or like some social media post, and kind of took the opportunity like, hey, we're learning as much as we can. We welcome y'all to learn too. Like, don't avoid the topic in conversation with us because you don't know what to say. We don't know what to say either. Like, just walk with us, right?
Yep.
It'll be fine.
People love that because sometimes they don't know what to say.
They don't know what
to
say.
Do they say,
congratulations, I'm sorry, like, how are you feeling?
And nobody means it in a negative way. It's just they don't know what to say because they don't want to offend anybody.
Right. But we didn't want our friends and family to, like, walk on eggshells around us either, or be like, oh, I'm not going to go talk to Patty and Lisa because I don't know what to say and I'm going to be awkward. Like, I'm awkward all the time. It's fine. Like, if we cry, it's okay. It kind of happens right now. We're still process with us, learn with us, all of those things. And so our community, we are so lucky, the community that we have that rallies around us all the time for a variety of different things. And so Abby had 2 holes in her heart during pregnancy. We're very lucky that they closed up on their own at birth.
Good.
And
That's
so
huge.
Addie was born in July. And so, of course, like, we had the prenatal Down syndrome diagnosis. So we have, and Lisa has never been to a hospital before, never had stitches, never had a broken finger, a bone in her body. Nothing. Never had an overnight visit. Nothing. And she's just kind of going in to have a baby. It's fine. But because we have the diagnosis, we've got, like, our OB and her nurse and the NICU team and this team. And so there's like 15 people in our delivery room. And our doctor, who's a good friend of ours, her and I are just, like, having a conversation about haunted houses because she's obsessed with haunted houses. And it was like, just the most, it was great. And so we, Addie was born and she looked like an alien.
Yeah.
I love her. Yeah. She's so fantastic. But we ended up in the NICU for a couple weeks. And it was because of her liver, actually. So all of the things, like, we chose to go to the hospital that we did because Blake Children's was connected to it. And so we were very thankful. We knew that a NICU stay was going to likely be possible. And so we ended up in the NICU. And navigating NICU life is long. It's long. And we're thankful.
How long was she in there for?
She was only in there for 2 weeks, which thankfully, because we know lots of kiddos who have been in a lot longer than that.
But still, it's long. Porter was in there for RSV.
Yeah.
It's different. It's just a different.
Yes. Any hospital time is just slow time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Lisa just had a baby, and the NICU rooms, you share a bathroom with the other NICU room, and so she's healing, and our baby's, in the NICU, so we kind of navigated all of that. But I always tell people, like, she is the greatest gift that we never knew we needed, and we're so lucky and thankful that we were chosen to be her moms because there's magic. There's just some raw, unedited, unfiltered magic, and she has the ability to just bring people together with love.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about this on the prior episode that we recorded
that we no longer have,
about just the expectations, like our expectation of what Pierce was going to be before we even knew him. And I think all parents, to some extent, put these expectations on their kids before they're even born. And we go back to that a lot of why did we expect him? Because Tyler played sports. I was very athletic. So we found out that he was going to be a boy. So we were thinking, oh, he's going to be our quarterback. he's gonna play in the
All the
NFL,
things.
all these things, and then all of a sudden you get hit by this diagnosis. And it made us really realize that we can't do that to our kids. Whoever our kids are gonna come out to be is gonna be the greatest thing ever. And I'm glad we realized that from such a early, for our first child, because now the pressure's off now. It's like,
Right.
whoever our kids wanna be, whatever they want to do, we're going to support them, because ultimately that's what's most important. But I think a lot of parents, that's where the grief comes in, because you weren't expecting that. And, but like you said with Addie, I mean, Pierce has just changed our vision on what we want for our kids and life. And it's been a really good thing.
Beautiful ability to just bring you down, and not like, oh, I'm going to bring you down, but just like back to reality.
100%.
What really matters in life. The slowness, the stillness, I do things in my own time, in my own way. And it really, not stop and smell the roses,
Right.
but really, right?
Yep.
Like, Addie has absolutely no urgency in anything she does, and she's going to take her time. And if she wants to sit, by God, she's going to sit.
Right.
Like, that's
Right.
just what she does. And so me, the person who burns the candle at both ends, doesn't know how to sit still, like doesn't know how to relax, like, oh, here, let me give you a child that is going to bring you down to the just reality. And, you know, I really encourage people that receive any type of diagnosis or kind of whatever you're navigating, like, your feelings are valid, right? And you have to feel your feelings. You have to process them, because, you know, shoving them deep down and waiting for them to fester and kind of manifest, like, probably not a good idea.
Right.
But
because that just builds up.
yeah,
And then,
absolutely.
but at the end of the day, the grieving looks different for everybody. Some might grieve for a couple days, some it might take longer, you know, and it just wherever you're at in the journey. And still, some days we talk about how strong and how we handle this so well, but there's some days that I have breakdowns too, and it's not because of the diagnosis, it's just because of our kids have a lot to handle, right? And a lot on them, but it's okay. It's just all a part of the process.
Usually it's regarding like a society that was not built with them in mind, right? And navigating the extra layers. It has nothing to do with Addie or, you know, the things that she has to navigate. It's usually the systems that have been put in place, or, you know, the waivers and IEPs and insurance and assessments and the navigating of resources or things like that. And the additional layer that comes with wanting to give her the independence and opportunities that her neurotypical peers have. And how many exits are in this vicinity? Where can she elope? Is she going to be safe? Like, there's this constant, like, alertness and awareness of what could go wrong.
Right.
Let's play a quick game of worst case scenario. Like, that's constantly happening in my head.
And with that, though, too, we've come so far as a society of
All the
being
things.
on a waiver and all those things. Right now, there's a lot of paperwork and stuff and phone calls they have to make.
Yes.
But if you advocate enough, you will get there. It just takes a lot of time. I don't know what episode this was, but we were laughing about how our other kids, like, we get emails, hey, your child's due for their yearly wellness check. Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, that was a couple months ago. I forgot it. I mean, I could tell you the date and the month of every, I mean, there was for a while there, I mean, the first couple of years of Addie's life, we were frequent flyers of the hospital.
Yes.
I remember one time we were in the PICU, and then left. Somebody had given us flowers. We were there a week later, and the flowers that we had given the receptionist at the welcome desk were still there. And I'm like, hi, we're back again.
Right.
I don't know.
And then just also thinking about, I did enjoy having a birth diagnosis because he was already here, so we could cuddle him and take care of our baby. Whereas if he wasn't here yet, I don't know if I would have that initial connection right away and the diagnosis. Does that make sense? But I feel like I was just already so connected to this little human.
And then the diagnosis.
And so I enjoyed that, but I don't know the other way, right? So, but then I still went off the rabbit hole of when he was here, those nights I was snuggling him, Googling, did I do this? Was this my fault?
Google.
Was it like, what did I do wrong that caused this and all
And
that
can
pressure.
we just
that
have a
put.
conversation real quick about when you Google Down syndrome, the pictures and like the drawings, like
All of it's awful. All
awful.
of it.
It is so antiquated and outdated. Like, can we get some updated information, please?
Right. Pictures, something. Can all these cute kids on Instagram? Can you just upload their pictures?
World, like, woo.
Yeah, and that was another thing is Instagram wasn't as popular as it is now, so you weren't connected to a lot of families.
Mm-hmm.
So you would just read the Google and just expect that was what your life was going to be like. And in episodes coming up, we'll talk about the myths, some of the myths that we read at that time. But it just makes it seem like the gloomiest thing that you're ever, like, they're never going to have friends. They're never, going to do this and this and this. And it just makes you sad when you're already so sad about something. And so just reading that was hard. But then then I did dive into some Instagram just to find accounts where I could see what the future would look like in a positive light, not such a negative one that I've read on the internet. And I think now with diagnosis and stuff, it's so good for other families to see how these other families are thriving with kids with Down syndrome or any diagnosis that you get, because it makes you feel like you're relatable. I felt like I was on an island we felt like we were on an island by ourselves. Nobody close to us.
It wasn't Love Island.
Yeah, it was not a Love Island at that time. Definitely not.
Maybe Survivor.
Yeah. So personally, we loved having a birth diagnosis. But you were like, no way.
I'm so thankful we had a prenatal diagnosis because it gave me the opportunity to, like, one, feel my feelings and make way for birth. And it gave me the opportunity to connect with Gigi's Playhouse and DSDN and other parents and, like, be prepared.
Yep.
I like to be prepared as much as possible, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I would hope that I would react the same way if it was at birth. Because I think still, no matter what, I've been like, cool, we're moms, let's go. We had experienced loss several times. And so there was just that layer of finally being able, and both of our kiddos are the oldest. And so it's like you are trying to start a family and, navigating the fun stuff. But I'm thankful it was that.
Right. And you just, let's hear from you guys. Did you guys get a birth diagnosis or a prenatal diagnosis?
And I'm curious even more to families that have littler kiddos. I'm curious if the experiences have changed over time, right? Because I think about, like, the doctor who gave us our diagnosis, and I've heard from other families that have older kiddos that it was a negative experience. But I'm curious, as things evolve and how things change, if the way people are providing that information has changed at all. And if it's better.
Right.
I hope it's better. It needs to be better.
And I think ultimately it's going to continue getting better when they see these families thriving and stuff, because that doctor that you had, maybe he grew up in, and it's not okay for him to say that by any means, because you should never present something like that to families.
But hopefully the letter I sent him, like, helps him shift a perspective or a narrative.
Absolutely, right. But maybe they grew up in an era where there wasn't a lot of opportunities for kids with those types of things, where now these doctors are seeing all this and the wonderful lives that these kids can have and things they can do. So hopefully that whole narrative is changing and they're presenting it in more of a positive light.
Yeah, I think there's that. And I think also, like, I'm very thankful to the parents and the families and the individuals with Down syndrome that have paved the way for us.
100%.
Because I look at a lot of families who have older kiddos and, their resolve to be the first to say, no, I want inclusion for my kid, to say, no, like, what is the best for my kid, or break the stereotype, or challenge, a long-standing policy, because just because things have been done this way for the longest time doesn't necessarily mean it's the right way. Right. And how can we do better?
Yep. No, it's interesting, but the diagnosis.
It's great.
It's great. So if you guys are currently going through a diagnosis, reach out if you need to just talk, if you need someone to listen. Like Patty says, sometimes people just need someone to listen, to vent to. We're always here for you guys, for sure. So might not always have the right things to say, but we are here to listen.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us today. Like we said, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you have questions, send them our way. We'd love to do a Q&A.
Yes. Otherwise, make sure you guys like, subscribe, stay up to date with new podcast episodes dropping. We have some cool things here lined up in the works of interviews, with families, doctors, therapists. So we're excited for those too. But
with it being October and Down Syndrome Awareness Month, we're kind of starting off with Down syndrome. We're also going to be touching base on pregnancy and infant loss soon, since October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month as well.
You got 2 good months.
I know, right?
2 diagnosed, 2 things in 1
2
month.
awarenesses in one month. I know, right?
When you text me that the other day, I'm like, wow, because those are big things. Those are big.
It's interesting, and it's like, whoever comes up with like, oh, this month is going to be the awareness month, like,
Because I can see like 3/21, like March, for Down Syndrome Awareness Day.
Yeah.
But these months that they pick.
Katie Jameson, who is an amazing advocate, we follow on social media. I remember because she has Kenzie, but she also has Lachlan, her son who passed away.
Okay.
She does a lot of advocacy on both. And her words just always resonate with me because I just feel them in my soul. And she had said one time, it's like the person who comes up with the awareness, like, did they ever know that there would be families that have to juggle two and kind of swing back and forth like a pendulum on celebrating one and honoring. And I talk about a little bit of that too, because, both things that take up so much of my heart.
Right. Big things.
Addie, that's
big things.
Some more to come.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Perfect. I feel like I was